Hello and welcome. Today we have a question and it is, can I add some but not all Notebook LM sources in Gemini? No. So the answer to this is no. And I appreciate the question because this does come up a lot. Okay, so just to bring everyone to the same page and show you what this question is asking. If you go to Gemini.google.com and then you log in, you'll get to this interface, and this is the Gemini app. And what they're asking about is one of the new-ish features in this is that you can basically connect a Notebook LM notebook to your Gemini prompt and then use that as basically context. So what you do is you click on the plus here and where say add files, and then you expand it, and then there's a Notebook LM option. And you click on that, and then you can select a note. And what this does behind the scenes is it connects to your Notebook LM account if you have one. If you don't have one, then this list will just be empty. But this connects, in this case for me, this connects to my Notebook LM account that's tied to this same account. And then these are all of the notebooks that I have. And the question is, if I pick whichever one of these notebooks, I'll pick the DaVinci Resolve one because it has a bunch of sources. If I pick this notebook, their question is asking, can I pick this notebook but not all 36 of these sources? And I can't. Once I go in here, if I pick this notebook and let's say only select that one, this is it. Like, this is now attached here, and then I can prompt it for whatever I want, and I can use the tools, and I can change the model, and I can do a bunch of other things, but I can't like change or reduce or do anything with the sources in here. And the other option within Gemini is to use a gem, and I won't get into what gems are. That's a whole different topic. We have videos on that. But if you're familiar with gems, if I go into a gem and I'll skip all the other steps of naming it and description, and if I come down to knowledge, because this is where I can attach a Notebook LM notebook, and it's the same thing. I click on the plus, Notebook LM, and then I select whichever notebook. So I'll do DaVinci Resolve, and it's the same thing. It just attaches it here. So no, I can't actually go in and say, I can't go in and attach a notebook from Notebook LM to Gemini and change the number of sources. Today, again, they change the features on both of these all the time. So maybe in a day, a week, a month, this will be different. But right now, you cannot do anything with that within Gemini. What you can do, and let me think, there are at least one, there are two things that come to mind that you can do. Let me switch over to Notebook LM. Okay, so now this is the same account within Notebook LM, and this is notebooklm.google.com. And then if you're already logged in, then you won't have to log in again. If you're not logged in and you're starting with this, you'll have to log in, and then you get to this screen. And what I'll do, just to show you the notebook here, this is the same DaVinci Resolve notebook, and these are, it says right here, 36 sources, and these are all my sources on the side here. What you can do within Notebook LM is you can just check here, and then it deselects all sources, and I can just select, if I want these 3, I can do only 3 of 36, or if I want these 4, whatever it is. So if I'm going to use let me go back. If I'm just going to use the fast model, then I can actually just do it within Notebook LM. And it depends on what it is. Like, there are some features that Gemini has that Notebook LM doesn't. If it's just a chat, or it is something that maps to one of these artifacts within Notebook LM, using that fast model, then I just do it in Notebook LM. Because here you have full control over which sources you have. So that's kind of the easy one, but let's assume that it's not something that you can just do that easily. You can go into Notebook LM, and then, and this isn't very clean, so I get that this might not be ideal, but it is an answer. You can, instead of using this notebook, I can go back to the main screen here and I can create a new notebook. And then I can add whichever sources I want. So if from that notebook, if I had 36 sources, let's say I wanted 10 of them, I can come in here, I can upload files or just drag them in here and then just pick the 10 from my computer or wherever I have them, and then make a new notebook with only those sources. And then when I add it in Gemini, it's only going to have those sources. Again, it's a couple of extra steps, but depending on how important this is, this may be worth the extra time. So one solution is to just make a new notebook with only the sources that you want. Again, I realize that might not be ideal, but it is something. The other thing that you could do is, let me go back to Gemini. And again, this depends on how many sources you have. You can just do it all from Gemini. If it's fewer than, I believe right now, Gemini supports 10 files you can add. So if you go to the same area, click the plus, instead of doing Notebook LM, just do add files or add from drive if that's where you have them. But wherever you have the files, just add them to your prompt here. And just like you would add a notebook, you could just add whichever files you want. Let me just add a file here. Okay, so now I just added this is just a PowerPoint slide deck, but now I just added a file here. So if I have fewer than 10 sources, I can just add those 10 to the prompt just within Gemini. I don't have to link Notebook LM. Again, it's extra steps, but if this is important enough, it might be worth doing the extra steps. If you have more than 10 sources, this won't really work. Past those two solutions, I can't think of anything else that would really work. And within these two applications, if you have other applications, or if you make a custom application or just do it all via code, then you have way, way, way more options. But within the constraints of using Gemini app and Notebook LM, yeah, you would have to either just add it to your prompt or add it to a gem, which is basically the same process. You would come into a gem and make a new gem and name it and give it a description and give it instructions, and then you would add the files here. And you would either upload files or add from drive, and then same thing, you would just add them to knowledge down here. But this tops out at 10, so if you have more than 10, this won't really work. Or from Notebook LM, you create a new notebook and then you just add those sources. Aside from those two options, within these tools, I can't think of anything else that you can do. Again, they might change the tools. They change them all the time. So this might be something that they change moving forward. But as it stands today, you can only go into Gemini and let me go back to the beginning. You can only go into Gemini, and when you do Notebook LM here, you can only add the entire notebook, and that means you get all of the sources. So unfortunately, there isn't just a really fast and clean way to just, pick this notebook with 36 sources and then only pick 12 of the sources. So hopefully that's helpful, and we will see you next time.